You meet someone, and they shower you with attention. Texts every morning, endless compliments, making you feel completely seen. Then, overnight, the warmth vanishes. They go completely cold. Your brain instantly goes into overdrive. You replay every single conversation, agonizing over what you might have said wrong to cause this sudden shift. Dark psychology operates at the intersection of influence and exploitation, where normal social mechanisms are stripped of ethics and used as deliberate tools of control. We tend to picture manipulation as the work of distant cult leaders or movie villains, but these tactics are actively operating in your text messages, on modern dating apps, and across the desk in your workplace. We all possess a hardwired need for connection and love. Manipulators don't invent new vulnerabilities, they simply exploit the ones already built into our social DNA. The cycle almost always begins with idealization. Through a tactic called love bombing, a person artificially accelerates the relationship, overwhelming you with affection to bypass your natural defenses and force a rapid emotional bond. Next, they execute the push-pull method. As this graph shows, they push your expectations artificially high, then withdraw to zero, creating an emotional vacuum. To relieve that panic, you chase them to restore the previous high, putting the manipulator in control. From there, the relationship enters a devaluation phase. The manipulator deploys negging, subtle backhanded compliments to chip away at your self-esteem, and breadcrumbing, giving you just enough sporadic attention to keep you engaged without ever actually committing. To maintain this imbalance, they rely on gaslighting. If you try to hold them accountable, they deny it, contradict your memory, and insist you're imagining things. Over time, this systematic denial erodes your ability to trust your own senses. When you can no longer rely on your own perception of reality, you have no choice but to adopt theirs. This systematic progression functions as a closed loop, a precise engineering of human emotion designed to manufacture total dependency in a partner. To understand why someone operates this way, we have to look at clinical psychology, specifically a trait known as Machiavellianism. People scoring high in this trait approach human interaction with clinical detachment. They aren't looking for a genuine connection. They are looking for submission, treating relationships as strategic games they need to win. Because the Machiavellian relies on clinical detachment, they lack the capacity for reciprocal intimacy. This creates a state of internal emptiness, where power and control become the only substitutes for the connection they are actually terrified of losing. By constantly acting out a script to maintain power, the manipulator erases their own authentic identity. They become trapped by the persona they've built. The outward display of dominance is an illusion, masking deep terror. They are ultimately just as captive to the cycle of manipulation as the people they exploit. When you begin to recognize these psychological scripts as mechanical and predictable, you can start to separate the behavior from your own self-worth. This understanding creates a necessary pause between their action and your reaction, starting the process of neutralizing their influence. It can be tempting to try and beat a toxic partner at their own game, but fighting manipulation with manipulation guarantees you lose your own authenticity in the process. The only effective counter-tactic to dark psychology is self-mastery. You have to build a source of validation inside yourself so you no longer depend on someone else to dictate your worth. In practice, this means establishing rigid emotional boundaries. You replace mind games with direct, honest communication, stating exactly what you will and will not tolerate. And when those boundaries are crossed, you draw the line and leave the dynamic entirely. You have to be completely comfortable walking away without ever needing an apology or closure from the other person. Psychological power is not the ability to control others or make them afraid to lose you. True power is the internal strength to remain completely whole without them.